Hi, I'm Melanie Kinnaman from Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning. I'm your final girl, and you're entering the Night Watch Zone.
Welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. We did it. We did it. Ah, that went great, Melanie.
Yes.
I'm a professional.
Yes, you are. Oh my
Right.
gosh. Tonight, for you guys, hopefully joining us in the live chat, and for those who'll be watching on replay, obviously, we have Miss Melanie Kinnaman from Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning. And we're going to have a short little interview and Q&A, and this is going to be awesome. We got Coriander with me, Killian, of course. Guys, I'm so excited. I've been telling this to
Yeah.
Melanie, but I'm just saying it again. I'm really excited. Melanie, how are you doing?
I'm great. I'm great. I'm in
Awesome.
sunny Los Angeles, and it's springtime. So
All
Nice.
right.
Nice.
Awesome.
Very
Awesome.
nice.
Well, first of all, I want to also thank Melanie for taking the time to do this. And she was
Yeah.
very gracious also with working on her laptop and all these different things
Mhm.
just so that she could be live with our audience. So again, we really appreciate it so much.
Mhm.
oh, it's my pleasure. And I'm
Great,
always up
great.
for learning some kind of new technology.
Right.
Nice.
Awesome. Okay, real quick too, I just want to say hi to the folks in the chat. We've got actually quite a few people here. We've got Jeffrey
Hi.
saying this is going to be awesome. All right.
Mhm.
Caracas Ironheart saying the first live stream for me, going to be a good one. Let's go. All right.
Nice.
Let's
Nice.
do it.
All right. Let's see. And I've seen some other people in there. I think Eric is in here. Val, one of our channel members, is in here saying hello to everyone. All
Hey.
right. All right. Let's see. Eric, a good friend of the channel, brother to the channel. I got my times mixed up so I can see some of this. Welcome to the channel, Melanie.
Oh, thank you.
Nice.
Very, very cool. Very, very cool. Dan's in the chat saying, smash that like button into oblivion, folks. I can't stay tonight, but have fun. Thanks so much, Dan.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Oh, very cool. Let's see. We've got Katie. Katie is in the chat saying, hi, friends.
Hello.
How's it going?
Hey.
How's it going?
Someone's
You're going to love this.
popping the popcorn.
Yes. Joel says, Pam.
Yeah,
That's
what's up,
awesome.
Pam?
Oh, that's great. Adrian's in the chat saying, hail to the Scream Queen. Oh, that's
Oh,
awesome.
well, thank you.
Very, very cool. Let's see. Movies and Beyond's in the chat saying, what's up, everyone? How's it going, Movies and
Hey.
Beyond?
Hey,
All right. Jen saying, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right. Dice is in the chat too. And
nice man.
Jason saying, hello, Pam. Those damn enchiladas. Laugh out loud.
I didn't eat any of
Good
Can I ask,
move.
it. I
that
knew
makes
better.
let me ask you something, because that was such a funny scene when
Mhm,
you're there with Reggie the Reckless and you've got his brother Demon played
mhm.
by Miguel Nunez. I thought that was it was a cute little scene, you know what I mean, as far as just the
Yeah.
camaraderie. I think a lot of people, and by the way, everyone knows this is totally unscripted, so I'm totally going on a tangent right here. But a lot of people I think forget Friday the 13th Part 5 had a lot of heart, at least to me, in scenes like that. And
Mhm.
sometimes it's easy to forget it because you think of it as just, it's the Friday the 13th with the fake Jason, you
Right.
know?
Mm.
They're
Mm.
just in for the kills. Yeah, but there were a
Right.
lot of sweet moments, I think, in the whole movie. Really,
I think
Yeah.
so too.
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
especially stuff with me and Reggie.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yep.
A lot of sweet moments there. I hope they
Mhm.
weren't lost in the whole scheme of things.
No.
Not at all.
Mm-mm.
Because I
Absolutely.
tried to have. There wasn't a lot written in the script as far as
Mm.
Pam.
Mhm.
I didn't get to, on paper anyway, see a whole lot of her. So I made her who you end up seeing.
Mm.
And I was always hopeful that the strength came through, and I was hopeful
Definitely.
that those sweet moments weren't lost.
Absolutely. Well, I think also it, and I think it kind of started with part 4, with Kimberly Beck playing
Mhm.
Trish
Mhm.
Jarvis,
Mhm.
and then with you, it's almost like the movies started to have the quote unquote final girl be very capable,
Mhm.
kind of, how do I want to word it, um
Kind of
m-
motherly, protective, like
yeah,
you're
Mama
dealing with
bear.
children here. Yes. Yeah.
multi-dimensional.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was really cool. That's some of what I enjoy the most, especially about part
Yeah.
4 and part 5.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Very, very cool.
Kimberly did a great job. She was a friend of mine.
Ooh.
It's actually, the story is, I'd never seen a Friday the 13th film at all. And when I got
Oh,
cast in part 5, I asked to see part 4. So I would
nice.
know the story, what I'm getting into.
Mhm.
So I saw Kimberly, I saw the film, and I thought it was very well done.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Also, we've got my buddy Steven from Craven Something Scary saying, "Hey everyone, what a pleasure
Hey.
this is."
Right?
Thanks, man. We appreciate that. I like scary is in the chat saying, "Now this is cool, man." Right?
Right?
David is saying, "Hey Melanie, were you aware of the plot twist?"
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
I
okay.
was
Oh,
given the twist. Yeah.
That's
In
a great
advance.
question.
Nice.
In advance. Thank God.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would get things sometimes the day before. I would have to report to the set at 4 or 5 in the morning because we'd start shooting by 7 a.m. And I would get the stuff at night. Sometimes the changes or the twists would come to me at 10 o'clock at night. So, yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
All right.
wow.
Wow.
Nice.
Very, very cool.
yeah.
Jason was saying that Friday the 13th Part 5 was so underrated. I
Yeah.
agree.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Uh, I'm sorry about that, but it's nice to hear that other people agree.
Mm,
I'm sorry it was underrated,
mm,
but I'm glad that over the years it seems to have been accepted and
Oh,
appreciated.
yeah.
And it's
Mm-hmm.
Quentin Tarantino's favorite Friday.
yes.
That was his favorite one, so I like that. And he shows it in LA. He has his own theater here, and he
Nice.
shows it every year around Halloween.
Oh, that's
Nice.
Wow.
awesome.
That is
So,
cool.
so it is nice, yeah.
Very, very cool. Let's see. Adrian was saying Pam really was the leading lady. Tommy had only like 5 lines, and he was a red herring for
Yeah.
fake Jason. Very true.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Very true.
Although if you ask John Shepard, because I've had interviews with him together, and if you ask John Shepard, he says it was his film. So
Nah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I don't know if I agree with that.
yeah,
That's
it's
great.
funny,
It is funny. Well, when we did our episode on Friday 13 Part 5, I think one of the things that we talked about that was interesting, obviously Tommy Jarvis has that trilogy of 4, 5, and 6,
Mm-hmm.
played by 3 different actors,
which is
and play
crazy. Okay,
right,
Yeah.
and played very differently
no
too.
reason, no reason for that. I don't understand it, but
Yeah,
I was,
yeah.
John and I were signed to do 5 and 6.
That's what I heard. Can you tell us a little bit about that as far as the whole thing
We were
about
signed
6?
when I got 5. I was signed on to do 6,
Mm-hmm.
so I knew I was doing 2 films, or at least I thought I was.
Mm-hmm.
And at the when we finished part 5, we were supposed to start part 6 a month and a half after that. And
Wow.
John Shepard, right after the shoot, said that he didn't want to do any more horror films, and he definitely did not want to do part 6, and he was getting out of this part of the business,
Mm.
horror.
Mm.
So by him saying and doing that, they couldn't bring me back, although I think they should have anyway with the new Tommy, but they had to
Yeah.
scrap the whole thing because Pam and Tommy were going to be the main thing for the beginning of part 6.
Mm-hmm.
It was going to start right where part 5 ended. Remember the last scene of part 5?
Yep.
Mhm.
Behind me with part 6 was going to pick up right there.
Oh.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
And so you can just imagine what was going to happen.
Wow.
Now, the script was that Tommy was going to become the new Jason, the new killer.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know, because I didn't see the final script, if I lived through that.
Mm.
So, I'm very upset about not doing 6. They had to pay me for it anyway. But the silver lining in that is that I live forever because I was not.
That's right.
Definitely.
So I'm the only final girl that lives forever. Take that. Take that, bitches.
Yeah. Nice.
That's awesome. Yeah,
And you
that
can
is.
quote me. I can see that a meme now. Take that, bitches. She's
I'm gonna use that as a clip for our channel. It's like Melanie said it. It's okay. That's so interesting. Let me, just as a quick story, and then I'm gonna pass it to my co-host. Obviously, when I saw this as a kid, first of all, I'm gonna be quite honest, because we're very honest here. I didn't know what to think of the movie. Like, I enjoyed it, but because of the twist, it kind of threw me off with Roy. And then of course the ending, with Tommy, and I'm like, well, wait a minute, what's going on here? And I can honestly say we're going to be ranking the movies, and hopefully in a couple of weeks. Part 5 is the one that has shot up the most in my list, because again, like we alluded to earlier, I can see so many of the soft personal moments with you, with Reggie, with Reggie's brother, with the kids, the fact that you guys were taking care of these kids. The whole idea of that was so different than what we had seen in previous movies and afterwards.
Right.
So this movie, to me anyways, I know we're talking about a horror movie, but honestly, as a horror fan, this movie had a lot of layers to it that it was trying to put out there, and also be different than the previous 4 movies. And I gotta respect that.
Well, I think it should have gotten credit for taking a chance, thinking outside the box, for trying something different.
Yes.
Getting away from the formula. And I always appreciate that in things that I see, any part of the business. And even music, they try something different. I like bands that try different things.
Yes.
But it was looked down upon, and Paramount got scared and went back to the formula, which is how they did 6. I didn't see 6, but I understand it was part of the formula, right? Jason's back.
Yep. They brought him back quick too, right in the beginning of the movie.
Wow. Wow. Well, they got spooked. They wanted to get that formula back. But it's ironic because Friday Part 5 grossed a lot of money for them.
Yep.
They made a lot. Our first weekend, the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night gross was over 50 million.
Wow.
First weekend. Yeah.
Nice.
Wow. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
Very cool.
Very, very cool.
So
wow.
But I think they heard the fans, and the fans were not happy.
Mm-hmm.
I still get the hate.
Really?
Oh yeah, at conventions I still get the hate. Like I said, look, it's just a movie.
Right.
I didn't write it, I was just in it. But
right.
I'm really angry about the Jason thing. I said,
yeah.
calm down.
Yeah.
It's just a movie.
So do you have fans? That's interesting. And I know I said I was going to get to you guys in a second, but I will. So do you have fans that, like at the conventions, they'll actually express their displeasure of the movie, or
yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
That's horrible.
Yeah, it gets ugly.
Wow.
But over time, the love has grown more than it did in the 80s. And so now it kind of is equal. And it's starting to surpass, the love is starting to surpass all the hate. And
Good.
So it's helpful. But the first convention I did, because I didn't do a lot of them, I started doing them in 2011. So I was late to the game. And my first one was very scary because I didn't know anything about how the fans felt. And the hate just, boom.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Wow. Unbelievable. Real quick too, Jason was saying part 5 is so underrated in the series. Did you want Pam to be, we already answered that, in 6. Also, did you keep anything from the movie? You were an awesome final girl.
Oh, thank you so much. This is why I love doing these. these shows. You know, it's nice to talk to fans and get some feedback.
Yeah.
I saved the outfit that I wore in the chainsaw scene and all the running scenes. And I
Nice.
the boots and the shirt and that horrible pink sweater. Oh my God. I even saved, I saved that because I wanted to bring it home and burn it, you know, but I didn't.
You know, I saw the Crystal Lake Memories documentary, and I think you talked about that, if I remember correctly. You talked about that in your interview portion, and man, it was just so funny to hear that. But it was nice to hear that type of real conversation from stars, you know. But yeah, that outfit was kind of interesting, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
horrible. The
It was
hair,
the 80s, man. The clothes back then.
the hair. I mean, the hair.
Yeah.
It's horrible. I was so
Your
glad when they turned on those rain machines and hosed me down. Oh, I was so happy because it just made everything look, I don't know, a little bit better.
Oh, stop.
Oh,
You looked good throughout the whole thing.
yeah, you did.
That
You,
hair and the blue eyeshadow, and I don't know.
You
Anyway,
no,
fit in with the time, you
that's
know?
yes. Like seriously, I mean, yeah, you were great. You were great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Patrick also is in the chat saying hello, Night, Coriander, Killian, Jerry, and Melanie.
Hello.
And we got one more question before we get into ours. Eric was saying, Melanie, did you have any idea how big and loved the franchise would be, or at the time, was this just another job for you?
I had no idea.
Mm.
I'm still shocked after all these years. I had no idea how much people loved it. You know, when I found out, the big premiere was at the theater in Westwood. Big premiere. Tons of fans. Anyway, we're sitting there and the lights come up and the music starts and people went crazy.
Mm.
That was the
Nice.
first time I realized this is a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
As far as, no, nothing was ever just another job for me, but you know, every job I got, I was thrilled and I was, you know, just wanted to do a good job. This one was a real big deal. And even though I didn't know Friday the 13th or anything about it, it was a big deal because number one, it was a Paramount film.
Mm-hmm.
I was the lead character.
Yeah.
They were searching apparently for this role, to cast this role across the country. So when I got it, it was a big deal. And you know what? It's still a big deal to me. I worked very hard on it, and I was just thrilled to have it. So no, it was not just another job, but I did not know the magnitude of the affection for the franchise, not just part 5. But
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put up our question cards. Coriander, I think we have your question that will pop up first for Melanie. Let's see. Here we are.
Yeah. So I want to know what it was like working with a child actor on set. And did that make it more real for you in the scenes, you know, where you were protecting Reggie the Reckless?
yes, absolutely. First of all, Shavar Ross was so easy to work with. He's such a professional and a great actor. So we bonded.
Mm-hmm.
And we worked together with the same kind of technique. So it just rolled. It was so easy. Yeah. We're still
Nice.
friends.
Oh, that's awesome.
Wow.
Awesome.
More than anybody I am in the whole film. He and I are still friends.
Oh, that's awesome.
That
Nice.
is so cool.
Yeah.
And I saw a picture that you had posted with you and Shavar, and it's adorable. Like seriously, you guys are just adorable. And like I said, that was one of my favorite parts about the movie, you know, is the fact of you guys' relationship. And again, this was something that you didn't see a lot of in any horror movie,
Right.
you know, let alone a Friday the 13th movie.
Right.
Um,
And I'm really glad that they didn't cut the relationship of us, of Shavar and I, because they cut a lot of stuff to make room for the kills. And I understand that because it's a horror movie. But some stuff got cut that I thought would have been nice for people to see because it was a lot about our characters, you know, and more human connection and day-to-day stuff. And, you know, I guess people aren't really interested in that when you're watching a horror film. You want the blood and guts, but it's nice to see the people.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, the
Yes.
relationship, you have a feeling about them and you're rooting for them and you want them to live or you want them to die, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that scene, kind of like I played a little bit in our intro clip where you had come back to the house and Reggie had seen the carnage, and I wish I could have played more of that clip, but YouTube doesn't like that type of stuff. But and you said, you know, what's wrong? What's wrong? And you know, he points to the bedroom and you go in and obviously you see what you see and you just scream, which by the way, I think that was really done well because we didn't see what you saw, but by your scream, we knew. And you immediately grabbed Shavar. You're like, let's go. And it was like, you know, gets your heart going. It was a great scene. But Kill, I'll throw up your question, which it kind of connects to that a little bit. But
Yeah, it does.
But we'll throw it up. You know, we might have something interesting.
Well, you kind of already answered it, but
Yes.
you know, do you still keep in contact with Shavar?
Yes.
Well, and you know, one thing I'd like to say is, I'm a child of the 80s. And I remember seeing Shavar in other like TV projects and things of that nature, like did Different Strokes, etc. And I can honestly remember seeing you and him. I loved you because you seemed, out of all of the final girls or the final female protagonists that had to protect their brother, you had no ties to this young man other than your own instinct of being that mama bear and that protector. And I love that. And I just like to say, as much as I love seeing horror movies for the kill and the gore, I like to connect to the characters. And I connected to you and your relationship with Reggie the Reckless, and it felt palpable. It felt real.
Oh, that's
so
great.
you know, and seriously, in my opinion, you as a final girl doing what you didn't have to do that, but you did it, and it was just amazing, you know. So
I'm glad it came through because that was a personal choice, and I was hoping people would see it or care, you know, about that, and so you just made my day because the one that caught that is so worth it to me.
Oh, you're welcome.
That's awesome. In the chat, we've got American Turkey Burger saying, "This is great. I hope you all are doing well." That's awesome. Let's see. I thought I saw another question here too. Joel was saying, Melanie, I was there opening night in 1985 and have been a fan of yours ever since.
Oh, bless you, Joel. I wonder what he thought of the twists and turns of the movie, though. Was he disappointed?
Yeah, Joel, and Joel's one of our channel members. Joel, let us know, what did you think of the twist when you saw it in the theater, you know, or did you have friends there, and what were their reactions to it? Very, very cool.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Yeah. Horrorman 82 in the chat, what's going on? Saying hello there, Melanie. All right.
Nice. 82, was he born in 82, I wonder?
Could be. He
was a little baby and he went to part 5. I wonder, you might be a little twisted now. I was 3 years old and saw part 5.
Hey, I was pretty young when I saw it too.
Yeah.
Really? How old were you?
It's his fault.
I'm sorry.
I knew he was trouble when I saw him.
Yeah.
Well, you know, when we were kids, our parents, when we would go to rent movies like at Blockbuster,
right,
I was fortunate that my parents would let me go to the horror section. And I'll never forget, Friday the 13th is the first movie, the original, that got me started as a horror fan. And once I started to go down that road, every time there was a new Friday the 13th movie, I would get it. And, you know, I'd watch it. And of course, he would sneak in the room or sneak down the basement and watch it with me. And I was like, okay, fine, you can watch it. So yes, it is my fault.
Nice.
You are the problem.
Okay. Steven saying, don't listen to the haters. Their nonsense cannot change your amazing performance.
Oh,
cool.
That's right.
Thank
Very
you.
Cool.
We need to tell them that.
Yeah. The insane one saying, "Love all your work, Melanie. Great content as always."
Oh,
All
thank
right.
you. Thank you.
All right.
Well, he's labeled the insane one, so that's something.
We got Jamie. Jamie's in the chat saying hello. Very, very cool.
Hello, Jamie.
Hey.
All right. She's saying going to see part 5 and when it came out remains the best experience I've ever had in a theater. I was 11. It was Halloween time, and I snuck in there with my babysitter. The place
Oh,
was rowdy,
Nice.
so fun.
Nice.
Nice.
Very
nice
cool.
babysitter too.
Yeah, you gotta love it. Yes. Crystal saying hello. Glad I could make it. Hi, Crystal. How you doing? Nice to see
Hey.
you.
Hi, Crystal.
And Jason saying, as a huge Friday 13th fan, we would all like to see all the final girls and Tommy come back to take on Jason. Would you be interested in that movie?
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
Nice.
Nice.
I can work a chainsaw.
You sure can.
I can
Right?
I can still. I practice.
How difficult was that
Nice.
scene? Because when it happened and you popped out with the chainsaw, I remember even as a kid, I was like, yes. And you were literally taking on, Jason. Either way.
It was we rehearsed the whole day for that because thought you pick it up,
Mm-hmm.
but you pick it up. This thing is heavy,
Yeah.
and then they turn it on, and it's now 50 pounds heavier. Really, just the vibration makes it heavier. So we had to rehearse that. I had to get used to working with it. Also, they had to make sure I didn't hurt Tom Morga, who was the stunt person playing Jason.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a professional stuntman, so he knew what he was doing. So they rehearsed me for many, many hours that day. We shot that on Halloween night, by the way, the 31st. So
Nice.
yeah, it was interesting. But yeah, we rehearsed for hours. Dick Warlock, famous stunt coordinator, did all the stunt coordination for that scene, just to make sure that no one got hurt. They were more worried about me throwing it, Tom Morga getting a severed arm,
Mm-hmm.
They weren't worried
Wow.
about me. Worried about me hitting somebody else with the chainsaw. But yeah, to answer your question, it was very, very difficult physically.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to make it look, and quite frankly, adrenaline kicks in. And so when there's adrenaline, you're able to do a lot of stuff you think you can't do.
Yes, absolutely. That was a great scene, though. What was cool about this finale is you had 3 protagonists. You had you had Reggie, and you had Tommy, who comes to the barn. And I remember just watching it and thinking, wow, what's going to happen? All 3 of you guys are obviously trying to survive this thing. How is it going to end? And I thought it was really cool because all 3 of those characters were a part of the situation as far as taking Jason down, especially when Reggie jumped off of the the haystack and pushed him over the edge. I was like, yeah, go Reggie.
How about him in the tractor?
Yeah.
The scene with him in the tractor coming, that's pretty funny too.
Yes. I loved it in Crystal Lake Memories when Shavar, he was actually making fun of himself about how he could scream like a girl.
Yeah, he did.
I remember that.
Better than mine. Yeah.
Oh God, that was great. Let's see. Flamethrower saying best of the best. Oh, I'm glad he's bringing this up. Best of the best would have gone up at least a star rating if they hadn't cut your scene.
Thank you. I had a couple of scenes cut. That still bothers me a lot, but that's the nature of show business. But I had 15 auditions for that role.
Wow.
I never auditioned more for anything than that film. And they kept calling me back. And I thought, cast it already, So this was a 2-month process for me to get this part. And I so wanted to do it because Eric Roberts was I was a fan. I thought he was a great actor and I would have been thrilled to work with him. So I really wanted this role and I got it. And I did work with him for days. And they didn't tell me I was cut. At the end of every film, there's a cast and crew screening once it's edited and ready to go, be released. So there was a cast and crew screening and I went with my agent and I was very excited. And as the film started to roll, each scene that came up that I wasn't in, I realized I was cut.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's too bad.
Bad way to find out. I'll tell you, my agent's looking at me like, what happened? I said, I don't know. They never told me.
Oh wow,
Mm.
that is too bad. And just to say, I and Killian knows this when we were kids. First of all, I love Best of the Best.
Hmm.
It's one of my favorite, martial arts action movies. I'm a martial artist,
Okay.
and I teach, and that was a movie that was one of those movies that really inspired me. And to hear the fact that you got cut out of it, it's like, oh man, that is sucks.
But you will understand then their point of view as to why they cut me, because they made room for all the fight scenes.
Yeah,
And I was a relationship with
Yeah.
Eric Roberts. It was
Right.
a human story.
yeah,
And they wanted to get, so that was the reason they told me.
yeah.
The reason I was cut was they needed to make more room for the fight scenes.
Oh, bummer,
Oh, wow.
bummer,
I
bummer.
was,
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, I would be too.
Yeah.
I'm still
Right?
pissed.
Aw.
Oh,
But it's so funny because I'm in the credits, so I get residuals all the time for a film I was not in.
Oh wow,
Nice.
that's crazy. Wow.
Yeah.
My name is on the
Wow.
poster. I mean, certain posters, people will come and have me sign it, and I say, "Gee, I'm cut from the film." Yeah, we know, but your name is right here. Can you autograph it?
Oh,
Hmm.
Me?
wow, that's crazy. Oh my
Wow.
gosh. Let's see in the chat. Adrian was saying there's a very strong image of you shielding Reggie from Jason. Total mama bear. Love,
Oh,
love, love.
Nice.
yeah,
Very cool.
that was the idea. I'm glad that came through.
Yeah, absolutely. Eric saying, I love Melanie's attitude. Such a fun interview. Oh, thank you so
Oh,
much,
thank
Eric.
you.
Eric, you are the man. You really, really are. Let's see. Here's another question that we've got. I think this one is mine. Pretty sure it is. Well, do you have a favorite or a very memorable moment on set of Friday 5?
Yes, it was actually I just talked about.
Mhm.
I love the chainsaw scene
Okay.
because there was a camaraderie in learning how to do the physical stuff. I was working with stuntmen. And the fact that I was able to pull it off, it was such a high for me when we finally finished it, because it was a lot of takes. There was a lot of technical stuff going on. And I had to lift that thing up and bust out of that door and, probably 20 times. So it was so thrilling when we got a really good take of it. And I think the finished product looks really good. So
Yeah.
that's one of my favorites, to tell you the truth.
Very
Nice.
cool. Very, very cool. Horror Man saying, I can't wait to see you at Motor City Nightmares.
Yay, someone's coming. I'm so excited. When you give me a chance to plug it, I will. Yes, Motor City Nightmares in Michigan. It's my first time in Michigan, appearing in Michigan. So I look forward
Very,
to it.
very cool. Awesome,
Yeah.
awesome. And Coriander, I'll bring up your question, the next question that you had for Melanie.
Okay, so how do you feel about the fact that Friday 5 was known as the one with the imposter Jason?
Well, I've had to learn to accept that
Mhm.
because, like I said, hate comes with that, or disappointment.
Yeah.
I am happy that over time, people are accepting it.
Mm.
They are more appreciative of the film.
Yeah.
So that is uplifting. But the truth is, being known as the imposter Jason, I'll tell you who really make a big deal about it are the ones from the other films. The actual actors from the other films say, well, she was in the imposter one, So that's
Yeah.
kind of disconcerting when it's the actors that say stuff to me like, you didn't fight Jason.
Aw.
Oh.
That's horrible.
You were still having to deal with a maniac, just
Yeah.
because it wasn't the real one.
No, and I always say, he was Jason to me. I didn't know any different.
Right.
It was Jason to me. I'm fighting this guy in a mask.
Right.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No
How
doubt
would you
about that.
feel if you were fighting a guy in a hockey mask? Would you care if it was Roy or Jason?
Good point.
Or
Right.
your mom? No.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You'd whip out a
Nice.
machete or a chainsaw if you have one handy, and you do
That's right. That's right. And you wouldn't trip when you're running.
No, and you and you wouldn't be saying, no, I'm not going to take this on. He's an imposter. He's not the real deal.
Right.
Right.
I love it. All right. Let's see. Kill. Let's see. Let's see what your question is. Okay.
What is your opinion about your film and the overall Friday franchise? And I know you kind of,
Yeah.
alluded to this a little earlier, but
I think, again, my personal opinion is that I think it's way up there. First of all, I think the first 5 had a certain look about them. They were very Paramount Paramount Pictures, 1980s thing. You can't
Yes.
take that away from part 5. It had that look.
Mm-hmm.
But I am proud of the fact that they tried something different.
Mm.
It was inventive, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it
agree.
should have a higher level in the franchise. I really do.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah,
Yeah, those first couple movies. I mean, of course, every time we right now, I think we've got 2 episodes left in our review series of the Friday franchise, and you're so right. Those first 5 movies, especially when I watched them, because we always watch the movie before we do our live review, even though I know the movies forwards and
Mm.
backwards. Same with these 2. We're all huge Friday fans, but
Yeah.
it does have that vibe, that 80s vibe, that Paramount vibe, and that's something that you just can't replace. It has a charm. Maybe that's the best word, a
I
charm
don't
to
think the
it.
later films have it,
I
They
agree.
couldn't. They were done at
Yeah.
a different time. They're a different studio,
Mhm.
Mm.
It's a whole
Absolutely.
different vibe. That's all.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
definitely.
I agree. Let's see. David had a question too, and it was funny. I was going to get to this at some point. He says, "Was Danny Steinman difficult to work
Whoa!
with?"
Yes.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes. And
Others in the cast will tell you a different situation for them, but everybody's situation is different.
right.
And no,
Mhm.
he was very difficult with me.
Mhm.
Mm.
And I was surprised because we got along in the auditions and everything. But once I hit the set and my first day of work, he was just nasty from the beginning. So,
Mm.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
so that's when I decided to not let it throw me, not to get
Mhm.
nervous because you'll blow your
Yeah.
performance. This was everything to me, and
Mhm.
I wanted to do my best. So it was a great learning process because
Mm.
I learned not to let any of that stuff throw me.
Mhm.
It made me
Good for
stronger.
you.
Yeah,
Mm.
made me stronger. I went in there because I'm a New York actress, meaning I studied, I did theater, live theater. So the director is like your lifeline on the
Mhm.
stage. And film is not quite the same. At least that has not been my experience with this in Los Angeles. So coming from that, when I first went on the set, Friday the 13th, part 5, my first scenes, I expected that camaraderie and for the director to really have my back.
Mhm.
Um, I found very quickly that that wasn't the case. And I was
Mhm.
thrown for a second. And then I just had to regroup, get it together and do that first scene. And the first scene is the first time you see Pam coming to the van and meeting Tommy. That was my
Yes.
first scene. My first day of work was that scene. So
Okay.
I just knew that I had to get it together.
Nice. Nice. Well, your performance in it, like I said, Pam was such a likable character right from the
Mhm.
beginning,
Well,
So
that's
everything that you tried to have show through in your
You
performance,
did.
it did.
It
It
did.
really
Mhm.
did.
well, thank you. I'm happy for that
Yeah.
because that was my
Absolutely.
goal. And sometimes you have no control over that. All you can do is what you do, but
Hmm.
Mm.
you're always hopeful.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And again, God rest his soul. I'm sure he was a very lovely person,
Hmm.
and a lot of people had a different situation with him and
Hmm.
experience with him. You're asking my personal. It was very difficult.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. And I got that from you in your interview, especially in the Crystal Lake Memories documentary, which, by the way, and I've plugged that so many times in
Yeah,
our
it's so good.
Friday episodes. It is such, for a Friday the 13th fan, it is a fantastic documentary. It's
Yeah.
absolutely amazing that they were able to get all of you guys in it,
Yes.
and
Mm.
not just short interviews, but very substantial. It's fantastic. It's one of my most favorite
They
possessions
did a
as a
great
Friday
job.
13th.
They did a great job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Yes, they did.
Absolutely. Joel was saying his experience with Friday 5. My friends and I thought it was Jason till the twist. I don't remember how we reacted, but I do remember we were bummed when we left hanging at the end, not knowing what happened to Pam.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that was supposed to make you come back,
Right.
part 6,
That's
because
right.
it was going to be a continuing story, but it didn't work out. But
Yes.
their intention was to have you wonder what the heck's happening here, and
Right.
that was a good idea. I think the last shot of the movie was a great idea.
Yeah.
Mm.
It totally, I was like, what? And then it just cuts and I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
It would have been, I think also it just would have been so cool because it was the cliffhanger. And if the next movie followed through, you would have been a final girl or any actor that would have carried over,
Right.
other than Crazy Ralph, but that
Mhm.
kind of doesn't count. But you would have carried over and that would have been so cool, for the franchise. So
I think,
Yeah.
but they thought otherwise. So
yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Miss Carter's in the chat too. She was also asking about Danny Steinman. And thank you for that, Miss Carter. I Like Scary was saying on set, Pam, were you afraid of Jason or did it not phase you?
no, I mean, as an actor, I had to be afraid, but as me, Melanie, on the set, I got to be friendly with Tom Morga, who was playing Jason. So, but as an actor, I was in the role. I was in the role for so long on the set, 17-hour days. So yeah, I was
Mm.
afraid. Obviously, in the scenes, once they say action, you're afraid.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Okay. Very, very cool. Let's see. Let's pull this other question up here. What Friday film would you pick to be the final girl in other than 5, if there is one? And if so, why?
I guess the closest would be part 4, because I thought that was well done.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And then maybe the original, because I think that's a great shot in the end.
Yeah.
With him coming out of the wall.
That was the moment for me. That's
Yeah.
what solidified it for me, because once I saw that and freaked out, and my brother probably heard me scream from the other room, I was like, I made it. I'm okay. And then
Yeah.
I knew I could watch horror movies. So it was a great stinger at the end. It really, really was.
Yeah. So that, I think, would have been a fun scene.
Oh, cool. Very, very cool.
Jesus.
Jason saying, Melanie, do you keep in touch with any of the cast from
Yes.
part 5?
Yes. Like I said, Shavar is a friend of mine. I
Mhm.
see Ron Sloan at conventions. He's a great guy. I've always liked Ron.
Mm.
And Tiffany Helm. I see her once in a while. We do correspond on Facebook and stuff, but I've seen her at a few conventions.
Mm.
I think and Marco St. John, who played the sheriff, he has since moved. He lives in Louisiana, so he gets a lot of film work there. So I don't see him, but during the course of filming and soon after, I saw a lot of Marco also.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good actor. Yeah.
Cool. All right. And Miss Carter was saying, this is a good one. Were you around for the damn enchiladas scene with Demon? And if yes, did you have a hard time trying not to laugh?
Well, I was around. I was luckily not working that day, but I came and watched, and it was just so much fun to watch, And he ad-libbed a lot of stuff, and he's just so funny, if you know.
Yeah. Yes.
He's very, very funny. So I think he did a great job. A lot of that was his own thing, and he made up that song. So yeah.
Nice.
That was just great.
Miguel is hilarious. Yeah.
He is. He really is. I've seen a bunch of different interviews with him, and gosh, he just seems like he's just a natural, personable person,
Yes.
and that's how his character was in the movie. That's why the finale of the film, I mean, I love the whole film, but especially the third act, once you take Reggie to go see him and Tommy comes along, everything from there on out was just like, wow. Everything was fun.
It moved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And all
Absolutely.
the chase scenes, I thought the chase scenes were good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
I got to admit, at one point I was thinking to myself, when are you going to fall down? Because people that are getting chased always falls down, and
Of
you
course I
didn't
I
until
know.
until
Yeah.
the very end. It had to happen.
had to
Did they?
have.
So did they just? I know this is probably a silly question. This is totally off topic, but did they say anything particular about that, or it was just in the script for you to fall at that
It
point?
was the script
And
for me to fall at that point, and
okay,
I had to time it a certain way,
yeah,
and it had to be um, very precise
hmm,
because the camera was a certain place, and I had
yeah,
to fall a certain way at a certain time in a certain position. Otherwise, they would
Jeez.
have to do it over again. So it was all pretty very concise. Yeah. Yeah.
oh
I think
wow,
we did that in one
Nice.
take, as I recall. I hit the mark because I wanted to get that done. I was so wet and muddy and disgusting. Oh, that was the other thing. They said, once you fall in the mud, we can't redo it. We'll have to redress you and everything. So try to get it right. So I said, I'm getting this right the first take.
oh
So,
wow.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh man. All right. That is something else. Let's see. Let me see if I think Coriander, this is your next question. Or
After
no, actually,
Friday,
yeah, go
yeah,
ahead. I'm
that
sorry.
oh, okay. After Friday 5, could you share any of your other experiences, any new projects?
yes, I have new projects. I just finished a film. It's a 1970s style horror film. I don't have the release date on it, but I know I can tell you the title now. Finally, it's called The Once and Future Smash, and
Ooh.
it's a horror film, but
Nice.
it's not much as no, it is gory. What am I saying? It's gory. My part is not, and some great people in that. I'm excited about
Mm-hmm.
that. I am just found out I'm doing a film, not until the beginning of next year, and
Ooh.
I'm not allowed to say the title, but I'll tell you it's a big. It's not horror. It's a big A-list movie, so I got a part in it.
Ooh.
Oh
I'll
wow.
be sure to tell everybody about it when it happens. Big star. I will tell you that Morgan Freeman's in it.
Oh,
Ooh.
Oh,
that's
wow.
awesome.
Wow.
Nice.
Awesome.
And other stuff, I'm doing conventions, a few, some in Europe, which I'm excited about, but the one is in Michigan. I'm doing Motor City Nightmares in Michigan, July 29th through the 31st.
Wow.
And
Very
Awesome.
that's
cool.
Detroit. Yeah. So, and there are a lot of great, Tom Savini's going to be there with me. I'm excited about that.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah. He's a funny character.
I bet.
That's cool.
Yeah.
He's one
I
of the
love his
best,
work.
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hmm.
I really wish, and this was a question I was going to ask you too. I miss those types of movies where you had the practical, effects and everything was, much more grounded in reality and not so much of the computer,
Yes.
CGI
Yeah.
stuff,
Yeah.
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 So do you have any horror movies that you enjoy today, or what do you think of the state of horror movies?
I Personally, I don't like horror films, which is kind of funny. They scare me. I don't
Mm.
like horror. I only
Hmm.
saw my film twice. Um, I like the old school. I love Alfred Hitchcock films.
Ooh,
I
yeah.
like Sam Peckinpah, Straw Dogs. My
Yeah.
I, my favorite. People always ask, "What's your favorite horror film?" It isn't technically considered a horror film. Is The Exorcist, original Exorcist. To me, is the
Ooh.
scariest movie to this day, and
Mm,
the
Yeah.
best made film. So,
wow.
Exorcist for me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very, very cool. That is very, very cool. Yeah, I totally agree with that. It's a masterpiece. It truly
Yes,
is.
and and a lot of it was your imagination. Like you'd be walking towards the camera would pan to the door, and your
Hmm.
mind is already going. You don't even have to see what's going on the other side of that door. And then, of course, when the door opens and you see Linda Blair there, but it was a lot of they use your imagination, and I like that.
Hmm.
What Hitchcock did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of the stuff was just moving you to the point of not even seeing and you're already hysterical.
Hmm.
I
Mhm.
like
Yep.
suspense. I like suspense much more than guts and gore.
Hmm.
Mm.
It's
Yep.
just a personal preference, but there are people that love the guts, and if there's not enough in it, they don't want to see the movie.
That's
So I
true.
get that. Look at the
Yeah.
films now. The highest grossing films now, you see what people want.
Yeah, that's true. Very,
And
very
from what
true.
I heard, Saw, those movies are very gory. I haven't seen one.
Yep.
Just not
Cool.
my thing.
Yeah, no, I definitely get that. No doubt about that at
And look
all.
at how all the Hitchcock films, how they hold up to this day. They're great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
can watch The Birds over and over again with Tippi Hedren.
That's a good one. Yes.
Very.
That's one of my favorites. Yep.
Good things.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, Hitchcock, he was amazing.
Yeah.
He truly was. Truly, truly was. Necessary Distraction saying, I can't stay, but I wanted to stop and say hey to everyone. Hope you're all having a fabulous evening. Melanie, you're awesome. Wish I could have hung out.
Thanks for popping in.
Absolutely. Joel saying the later entries would have benefited from a recurring Final Girl, and I sure wish they had went that route with you, Melanie. I've always loved Part 5, and I watch it way more than some of the other entries.
Oh, that's
Very
nice.
cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very, very cool. And let's see. Kill, I think we got one more question here that I'm gonna pop up. Hopefully this is a good one here. Oh no, that's the wrong one. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Here we go.
Okay. How did dancing become a passion? And can you describe how it feels when you are in the moment?
It's a great question. I started dancing when I was 4.
Wow.
My mother took me to dance lessons. I had a natural ability to do it. She saw it, so I started getting training very early on, and I danced my whole life. That's actually what got me into acting. I always wanted to be an actress, but dancing was the foray into it. It's the most incredible feeling, like an actress, when you're in the moment, expressing yourself through movement. But it's the same as acting. For me, the movement is the action, is the acting. I did it my whole life, and that's what brought me to New York City. I was a professional dancer there, and I went from being in the chorus of these shows to getting roles and being taken out of the chorus and getting lead roles. So it was great.
Oh, great.
Very, very cool. Yeah, I can only imagine how that feels when you have a passion like that, especially something that can be so personal like that.
Dancing is my first passion. Yeah.
It's very
and
cool.
I still do it.
Very, very cool.
Nice.
And we have a super chat, a donation in the chat from Denisha for $2. Thank you so much, Denisha. We appreciate that. We appreciate that.
We like donations.
Yeah, absolutely. Jen saying, Melanie, it has been a pleasure. Thank you, Knight. I have to go board the train.
Train to where you're going. You're going on the train.
Very cool. Miss Carter saying, Melanie, I think you're an underrated final girl. You weren't afraid to run around in the rain and get muddy and put up a good fight.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Well, I'd rather be underrated than overrated. I mean, both are not good, but given the choice, I'd rather people say I'm underrated than, oh, God, she's overrated.
That's a good point. Very cool. Let's see. Castellar was saying, what was your favorite scene in Friday 5? You talked about that with the chainsaw.
Yeah, the chainsaw scene, and then I had another one in the van with Miguel and Shavar. We talked about that.
Yeah,
because a lot of that was ad-libbed, and it was nice to have a human scene about people interacting,
Absolutely. Yep.
And having relationships and friendships.
Yeah. Jamie saying, I'm loving this resurgence of 70s style horror. I'm looking forward to see it.
Yes,
Talking about your upcoming project.
I think 70s style is my favorite.
Yeah.
And 80s is not bad.
True enough. I always, the 80s it was a special time for me.
I'm sure, because you were really young then, and it's coming of age for you guys,
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Crystal saying, great interview, and also giving a $2.99 donation for a super sticker. Thank you so much, Crystal. We appreciate that.
Thank you, Crystal.
Very, very kind of you. And also, we've got Carrie saying, hey, showing my love.
Oh,
nice to see
thank
you, Carrie.
you.
We appreciate
Thanks
that.
so much.
And she has a donation for $5 saying, Knight, I'm so proud of you for an amazing interview. And Melanie, you were great as Pam.
Thank
All
you
right.
so much.
Very
Thank
cool. Very cool. Okay, and what we usually do, I know people have probably been waiting. When folks do a little donation, I have to play a little video clip just as a funny little thing. So I know they're probably waiting for it. So I'll play the clip for you guys that have donated. Thank you so much. And here we go with you guys' favorite little clip. Baby, can you dig your man from The Stand?
Baby, can you dig your man? He's a righteous man. Don't let go.
Every time.
Now I got to look that up.
Yeah, that's from that first part with the gentleman. That's from Stephen King's The Stand, and then the dance part, that's from George Romero's Creep Show.
Oh
So
yeah,
usually when people do a little donation, we've been doing this thing where we play that and have a little laugh and so forth. So
That's
Little dance break.
little dance break. And Melanie was dancing. You guys, well, there she goes there. Because when I play the clips, I can see these guys behind the clips, and Melanie's dancing. I'm like, okay, she's cool with it. That's great.
That was good. I'm gonna look it up.
Joel says, as a teenage boy at the time, watching Pam run around in the rain being a badass was well worth the price of admission. Thanks, Melanie.
Oh,
Hart.
thank you. I'm finally badass.
Well, you really were.
You've always
yeah,
been
you were.
badass.
I'm
Yeah.
badass. I'm badass now.
Right?
I can tell. I can definitely tell.
Got to. Hey, the world is so crazy and life is so crazy, and Coriander will get it as a female. It's even crazier for us. You got to be badass now.
You do.
We all have to be survivors more than a long time ago, and so everybody has to look out for themselves. Really.
That's right.
Well
Definitely.
said. Well said. Absolutely. Denisha saying, love this channel, Knight. You're amazing. And I love the Creep Show dance. You guys are too
Creep Show
funny.
dance is the best part of this whole thing.
No, definitely you.
not.
I liked it.
All right. Let's see. Miss Carter has a question too. I heard Shavar was asked to come back for part 7, but turned it down. I was wondering if Miss Melanie was asked to come back as well.
No, I wasn't, but I don't think Shavar was either. He never
Okay.
told me that. We were going to do 6. Well, I mean, we were going to do 6, and the 7 was not in the plan. Unless he's holding out on me and he didn't want to tell me, but I don't think he would have turned it down. Unless it was a really crappy role.
You know what?
He doesn't turn anything down.
I think he is so cool. And again, I've seen him obviously in his work, but also in interviews. And again, to reference the Crystal Lake Memories documentary, he was hilarious in that because he was just talking about, his perspective as obviously as a child actor at that time. And it was so funny when he said, usually they kill off the black guy. He said, they didn't do it this time. He's like, nope. They said, we're not going to do it. And I laughed my ass off. I was like, you go, Shavar, you go. Because he was such a big part of the movie from beginning to end.
Absolutely. No, they always kill the brother.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. And I was like, you go, Shavar. I would have loved to have seen more of him, more of you. It would have been really, really cool. I think they had a missed opportunity. I really do.
Definitely.
Yeah. No doubt about that at all. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, look, guys, we're getting near that time. I promised Melanie that we would go anywhere from about 45 minutes to an hour, and we have just eclipsed an hour. As we start to kind
of, we're having so much fun.
Well, we are. Hey,
yeah, we are.
We could go for a long time here, but I don't want to hold you up. Yeah, you got the. I can't. Trust me, that was not something I expected to have you do, is dance into that little clip. It's just a silly little clip, but that's awesome.
I love it.
Very, very cool. But as we start to wind down here, and I'll point it to you first, Killian, and then Coriander. Any final thoughts or any final things that you want to say or mention or ask of Melanie before we head on out?
No, but this has been great chit-chatting with you. I look forward to all your future projects, and you are one of my favorite final girls because
Oh,
you didn't have to do what you did for Reggie, and it
oh,
was much appreciated.
thank you.
Mhm.
Very cool. How about you, Coriander?
Yeah, I mean, you were so badass, and you are still badass, and yeah, your
Thank
movie was probably, yeah, it's a good one, and it's too bad, like you say, that people consider it underrated because it really isn't, you
Mhm.
know, and the love that it's getting now, I'm so happy to hear that because you deserve so much respect and none of that bullshit that you were talking about earlier from conventions with people getting angry. I find that crazy. So
Mhm.
you just need to stay strong like you are. And yeah, I can't wait to see some of your upcoming stuff that's coming
Thank
out.
you so
Yeah.
much. Thank you. And it was
Mhm.
great to meet you.
Yes, you too. Yeah.
Very, very, very cool. Jamie saying, I've got big love for Reggie. Yes, we all do. He was great. I mean, he again as a child actor, I think he killed it.
Mhm,
Corey
mhm.
Feldman was very good in part
Yeah,
4,
yeah.
and I'm sure Melanie can speak about it much better than me. But having a child actor be so prominent in a movie and
Mhm,
being
Yeah.
able to do a hell of a job like both of those guys did, I
mhm.
mean, that's just awesome.
Yeah,
It's very
Mhm.
cool.
yeah. They were both great.
Yeah. Jordan saying, have a great stream night. I'm gonna stop by another stream before I get back to researching for my final paper. All right, Jordan,
Ooh,
take
Well,
it easy.
yeah.
Very cool. Jamie says, this has been fantastic night. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. And we've got my buddy Blucka singing the
Ooh,
song Ooh
baby.
Baby.
ooh, baby.
Ooh baby.
Ooh, baby.
Ooh.
Yeah.
uh, Joel, who's a big Friday fan, saying, I have been waiting for this all week. Melanie rules.
Oh,
Nice.
thanks, Joel. Maybe I'll get to meet you someday in person.
That
You
would be
never know.
so cool.
If I'm in
Very,
your neck.
Right?
very, very cool. Well, just to close it out here, obviously, again, Melanie, thank you so much for taking the time to spend with us and the folks here in the chat. You've been absolutely fantastic, and I'm just so honored that you decided to do this. And also, and I mentioned this on our live stream last night, I'm just so I don't even know what the word is. Like I said, you went through the trouble of getting things situated just to make sure you could be live with us and our followers. And I think that
That's
speaks
awesome.
volumes. It really
Yeah.
speaks volumes
It
because you
was
didn't
my
have to do
pleasure.
that.
Well, I appreciate it. It was my pleasure. I really appreciate you inviting me and wanting to have a chat. I always love to meet the fans that, send the questions in to you. So it was a pleasure. It was worth it.
Oh, thank you
Nice.
so much.
And the three of
Awesome.
you are fantastic. So
Oh,
keep up
thank
with the
you.
work. Keep doing what you're doing because it's working for you.
Oh, thank
And
you.
I wish you
Thank
all
you.
individually great success.
Oh,
Oh,
you
thank you
too,
so
man.
much.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Oh, that's very cool. Miss
Mhm.
Carter saying, thank you for your time, Melanie. Great interview. Jason saying, thank you, Melanie. Castellar saying, you were overwhelmed night, and that is normal. I am. I'm not gonna lie, man.
It's so cool. You guys are
Huh?
all so cool and laid back and
Listen.
like this is just another day.
Well, we do live stream a lot,
You do a lot,
and
so you're better at it than I am. I don't do this all the time, so
Oh, you were great.
you got a handle on this.
Yes.
I'm like, oh, what do I do next?
oh,
Oh,
well, I can totally be honest and just say I'm just I'm so happy. It's like, wow, I'm just trying to, just make sure we get through this, and I'm just so happy to
We
even have
did.
you on.
We got
Really,
through it.
we
No,
did.
no ditches, no glitches. It was all perfect.
Absolutely.
We did it.
Val saying, amazing interview, guys. Thank you, Melanie. Yeah, and
Thank
everybody
you.
is giving big thanks. Thank you for taking the time to come together to make this content for us. Oh, thank you so much, Blucka. We appreciate that.
You guys
Yeah.
worked
Really,
hard.
thank you.
Me, I
Thank
just
you.
showed up. You guys did all the work.
You're so gracious. I love it. I love it. Okay. So, anyways, we're going to get ready to have our outro. Melanie, I'll just have you hold on for a few seconds while the outro plays. For you guys here, you guys know the drill. Please give the video a like. That would help support the channel, and also get this video out to a whole bunch of other people that would absolutely love to get this inside view on Melanie and obviously Friday the 13th. This has been even better than I even imagined, because Melanie was giving us so many great inside stories. So please like the video. It'll help get it out to other people. Please leave a comment. And if you do have any other questions, leave them in the comment section. I obviously have been in contact with Melanie, so maybe I can ask her some other questions. And she obviously is more than welcome on this channel anytime in the future if she ever would be up for it. So that's how we roll.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so we'll catch you guys in the live chat later. As you guys know how we say it, if you're watching this, if you're listening to this, you are the Night Watch. See you guys later.
Up church.
Peace.